So let's just get into it right now. We're
Sure.
dealing with a profound inflection point from traditional monetary systems, and with more and more attention and money going into the crypto world. I wonder if you could frame historically what's happening, because you have a way of looking into the past and then into the future like few others.
Sure. And by the way, when we talked the other day, you made a very profound statement about humanity approaching a fork, and I'm going to make sure we get back to that. Whenever we get a new technology, we always collectively sit around and scratch our heads, wondering what the heck it's good for. And that's what we're doing with digital technology. And we keep coming up with ideas, and then of course the initial stage is we do silly things, and some of it makes sense, some of it doesn't make sense, and that's what we're doing with crypto. It's like, wow, this is an amazing invention. What could we possibly use it for? And that's why we're exploring the money part. And the whole story of the last 50 years is things are becoming more abundant. Hat tip to Peter. At the same time, we're obsessed with scarcity. And a really key concept is every new abundance creates an adjacent scarcity. And so whenever you see something become newly abundant, ask yourself, okay, what's this going to make very, very scarce? But back to your primary premise, the way I think of crypto today, well, Bitcoin was the first cryptocurrency good enough to criticize, but it's a transitional phase. And others are a little bit more like after the printing press emerged in Europe in the 1450s and publishing took off in 51. The Catholic Church opposed the printing press until they realized they could use it to print papal indulgences and make a fortune. And then they thought it was great. Well, I look at a lot of variations on cryptocurrency and I go, it's kind of like papal indulgences meets chain letters.
Okay.
Oh God.
So I
Okay.
guess we get a general view of your world. Um, uh, the Jeff Booth made an important point that we are growing our global economy via debt, and over time, this is the statistic I've got it right. In 2015, we had 50 trillion in global GDP, and the world was 85 trillion in debt. Roll forward 4 or 5 years, just before the pandemic, we were 85 trillion in global GDP and 280 trillion in debt. And the challenge is, how do we navigate that in the future without some radical correction in the system? And
Well,
I don't know if
short answer is let's make sure we screw up on that life extension immortality thing, and then it's just our children's problem.
Okay, that's the current working practice.
Yeah, that's the hypothesis. So let us keep in mind that debt has two functions. You can use debt to you can create debt. It's borrowing from the future, and you can use it to build things now that make the future better.
Yeah.
Or you can use all of this sudden wealth to throw a party and make things worse. And that's, again, I don't want to imply that I'm stuck in the 16th century, but the rush of silver and gold from the New World had the same insane effect on Spain and and Portugal. And the only difference this time is we're not stealing the money from unsuspecting other regions of the world. We are parts of it, coltan and all that, but it's basically we're in essence we're kind of doing to ourselves what in the past we did with colonization.